3 minutes. How to avoid the overspeed penalty while flaps are down in FS 2024. Here we go, Captain. So, you are trying to become a successful pilot in Flight Simulator 2024, doing the best you can to avoid penalties, but you keep getting noticed about overspeeding while flaps are down. It's frustrating as the game does not give you any tips to avoid them, but don't worry, I'm going to explain you everything you need to know when lowering the flaps. You might have noticed there are some colors on the airspeed indicator. These colors are not here just for decoration. In fact, each of them has a meaning and are extremely useful when flying. As these colors are a standard in aviation, it means you'll find the same colors across all aircraft you'll fly. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will take this speed indicator as a reference. The yellow arc means you can only fly the plane at that speed in smooth air. The upper limit is the VNE, which means velocity never exceed. Do not fly at that speed or you might loose a wing, loose the windshield, or both at the same time. The lower limit is the VNO, which means velocity normal operating. It's the limit you should never exceed in turbulent weather. The green arc represents the speed under normal operation. The above limit is the VNO described before. The lower limit is the VS1, which means velocity stall in a clean configuration. In other words, the speed at which your aircraft will fall like a rock with no flaps. The white arc is the one we are looking for. This arc indicates the flaps operating range. The lower limit is the VS0, the velocity stall in full flaps configuration, and the above limit is what we are looking for. This is the VFE, velocity flaps extended. In other words, the maximum speed we can operate with our flaps down. Most of you guys will fly glass cockpit airplane, which means the old gauge has been replaced by 2 beautiful screens. Don't worry, you'll find the same colors and indication on the screen. In this situation, we have both the classic gauge indicator and the glass cockpit indicator. Both represent the same thing, our airspeed. We are currently in the yellow arc, slowing down to the green arc. Approaching the white arc, we are now passing the VFE, which means we can extend the flaps safely. Before we finish, you might notice some aircraft does not have such color indication, whether they are too old or too heavy. In an airliner, for example, it's impossible to have these fixed speeds because the payload and fuel of the aircraft would have too much impact on the flight dynamics. Most of the time, the flaps speed limits are specified in a plate around the cockpit. For the 737, it's just below the landing gear lever. For the A320, it's just to the right of the navigation display. Each aircraft is different, so just look around the cockpit and you'll find them. I hope you've learned some useful information. Like and subscribe for more flight simulator content.